Good afternoon. What is up with y'all? My name is Miles. You obviously know this. This is the second episode of Nerd by Choice. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna talk about music. Five of my favorite albums that I've loved and listened to repetitively, and ironically, I have the vinyls of them. So we're gonna go with the first album. We're gonna go with Wolf. Now, Wolf is one of those albums that when you listen to it, you might be like, what is Tyler's talking about? What is this and that? But when you really listen to some of the songs, like song Colossus. Now, Colossus is an interesting song. Colossus is interesting because this is a song where he's talking about how he's trying to get used to the fandom and people being fans of him, how he's trying to get used to the spotlight, how he's trying to get used to being kind of known for his music. And he goes to Six Flags and he's talking about this experience and how um he's trying to get used to have to be a public figure. Now, there's another song called Answer, where Answer he's basically talking about his relationship with his dad. And he's talking about he hopes that he answer if he calls him. And it's interesting because Goblin, Wolf, and Bastard were all the songs, or not songs, albums. Goblin, Bastard, and Wolf are all the albums where he's struggling and trying to cope with his dad not really being a big figure in his life. He's trying to cope with that while also making music and being something of his own. Tyler's trying to figure that out. And you can see the frustration in I hope you like the song Answer, where he says, I hope you answer. I hope you answer. There's one lyric that I'm trying to look for, and it was crazy. And he refers to his grandma, and he says she's nostalgic and something like that along the lines. I might pop it up somewhere along the lines. And I'm like, wow, that's a very deep lyric because when you think of nostalgia, you think of something old that is gone. And he could be referring that his grandma is gone and like he can't go to her for some of his issues. And that's interesting. The Party Isn't Over, Campfire, and Beamer by Tyler Creator, also on the Wolf album, very interesting because that's probably my favorite song on, or that collage of a song on the album Wolf. It has a lot of uniqueness. Like The Party Isn't Over, we can still dance, but I ain't got no rhythm. Yeah, like that song is good. Beamer with Frank Ocean, Campfire in the middle is really good. Overall, I just loved how he has collages of songs and they're long songs, but they don't feel like either it's 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, however long they are. They don't feel that way. They feel very like you're vibing to, you're understanding the story, but you're enjoying it. You're experiencing something unique. Uh, one more song that I'm gonna refer to is Lonely. Now, Lonely is one of those songs where it's very interesting how he kind of had a jazz feel, but like late night feel to it, where like the whole album of Wolf just feels like a nature late night vibe. And then he just at the end of the album, he's like, oh, I'm gonna do like a jazz mellotone vibe. And I just love how he did that and how it was very unique. The next album I'm gonna talk about is Call Me If You Get Lost. Now, this album just recently came out. Um, it came out 2021. Uh, it had a lot of bangers, a lot of good songs. Uh, the deluxe was really good. Like the one song, "What a Day," like that song is really good. Um, he has a few songs where he's kind of talking about he's leveling up and talking smack, like Massa Manifesto, where he's talking smack, talking to the doubters, the haters, and how he's leveled up. Um, then he's talking to and then Wildshire. That's probably a lot of people's favorite on that album. Wildshire is probably a good amount of people's favorite. And the fact that that song's about like close to 8 minutes or maybe longer is a great way of showing how Tyler can have a long song, but it makes you feel every emotion, everything he's trying to convey in his storytelling. And Wild Share is one of those songs where he's talking about how he wants to get with this girl. He feels like she's the one. And but the twist to it is that that's his friend's girl. And he's talking all these experiences and stuff that he's having with his friend's girl and how he might cross the line, like the code bros over, like, and you can get the gif about all the other lyrics I might pop up after I say that, but he said bros over, and like he refers to that how he would say, nah, I just want her. And it's crazy because a lot of dudes or girls be like, bros over this, bros over that. But Tyler like, nah, I'm gonna switch it up. I ain't gonna say that. She might be the one, so I ain't gonna do that. But overall, I really love um Call Me If You Get Lost, especially because like look at his like aesthetic with the wolf, with not the wolf, with the rush hat, uh the cardigan, the suits, the suitcases, how it gives off the very European vibe, but it has Tyler Golf Lafair all over it, you know? And I really love how he did that. And even in the album, the music felt like at least I felt like I was in Europe. And I really like how he did that. Now, now another album that I think a lot of people love from Tyler is probably his biggest album because he won a Grammy from it. Igor. Now, Igor is really an experience. I obviously said it was his first Grammy win. It was probably his favorite album by everybody, but that album, when I tell you, is just a 10 out of 10. Igor's theme, the way that beat, that switch up, all that stuff is just beautiful. I really when re-listening to that album a couple times, I really understand the uniqueness that Tyler has. Like he's talking about heartbreak, but he's also bringing creativity to that heartbreak. And you got the song Earthquake that's really good with Charlie Wilson and Playboy Cardi. You got New Magic New Magic Wand, and that's really good. And you see how his range, his depth, his creativity, but you also see the storytelling of the hurt because Are We Still Friends is that closes the whole album. And the whole album is about heartbreak. And he's asking, Are we still friends? Because he still wants to be in good graces with that ex lover, or he's still contemplating on whether he really wants to end this or not be friends or not even have contact with the lover. And he asks, Are we still friends? Like, can we be friends? Like he's really struggling with that. Cause you have the song like The Boy Is a Gun, Gone Gone Thank You. You have uh I Don't Love You Anymore. And it's crazy. I Don't Love You Anymore is before Are We Still Friends? So you see how with those two songs, the last two songs, he's conflicted. That's very interesting. And I just overall just a 10 out of 10 album. Um the next album, I think if you're a Kendrick fan, you're gonna love it. And if you're a hip hop fan in general, you're gonna love it. To Pimp the Butterfly. Now, I can say a lot about this album. The controversial, isn't it's very controversial. Not like crazy controversial, but the way he illustrated or used his music ability to talk about racial stuff and specifically in the black community and our struggles, but use it in such a way to help us better ourselves and also to express himself. Kendrick is a music genius. I mean, he does have a Pulitzer award, so it's not surprising, but like really listening to the album is just crazy. Like Wesley's Theory is really good. King Kutu was probably the first song on the album where it just stuck with me because when I was younger, the album came in 2014 and I was about 8 years old, so I didn't really understand albums like that. But now as I got older and listened to the album a couple more times, that like that that memory of me listening to King Kuta and on TV and me dancing to it, it always vividly it vividly is there with me. Um you All Right is a classic. Everybody knows that song. There's not too much I need to say about that. You You is a crazy song. You is probably like one of those songs where you gotta really listen to what he's saying because it's a diabolical song. He's basically spreading, he's not spreading, but he's hating on himself. He's conflicted with himself. He's speaking all this uh anger and animosity towards himself and how he is as an artist and a person, and he's struggling with that because you could feel that through his voice and how he's rapping it in that song You. um Another couple other songs, Complexion, really good. The Blacker the Berry is really good. These Walls, when I first listened, I thought These Walls was talking about prison. Later I find out it's talking about a little something along the lines that is crazy, but overall I just love how he told a story in that song, and it gave you illusion that you thought he was talking about prison, but he was talking about something totally else different from prison. And I'm like, he's a music genius. Um, and then Morale Man, when he's talking about when stuff hit the fan, are you still a fan? Like that lyric is so relevant to now and just in general, and the whole album is so relevant to back then and now. Like he made that album, and that's like an evergreen album because it's so relatable now. Like people might dislike it, might hate it, might do this, might be like, oh, everybody overrates it, overhypes it, but you can't not deny that this album is still relevant, still pertains to the black community, and is a 10 out of 10. You can't deny that. Now, I'm a big Tame Impala guy, and you obviously know I had to have Currents. I need to get Borderline, but I have Currents. And Currents is one of my favorite albums simply because Tame Impala, aka Kevin Parker, has a unique sound. It's one of those sounds that you feel like you're dreaming and your mind is expanding. Like when you listen to his music, it's like your mind is expanding to all horizons, galaxies. That's how I feel like when I'm listening to him, and I love it because it makes me go to a different place. And the favorite song on Currents is Nags. I might pop it up somewhere, but like Nags, just the vibe, the aesthetic, the production with it, the way I feel like I'm in space or like questioning reality when listening to that song is just something beautiful. Let It Happen is just one of those songs where it feels good and you relate to it and you're like, let it happen, let it happen. Like cause it like that's relatable. It's like trusting the process. Let it happen. Let it happen. And then you got the moment. I when I listen to that song or the title right there alone, I'm like living the moment. Then you got eventually. Eventually, like this song to me feel I mean this album feels to me like uh a whole process of evolving. Like eventually I'm gonna get where I need to go. Gossip. I'm not gonna listen to that gossip. Um, what other song? The less I know, the better. You're not worried about all this rah 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 stuff. And then another really good one is um new person, same old mistakes. I feel like that's so relevant in life now. That song title, the song in general, new person, same old mistakes. It's relevant in all levels. Like you could become a new person, but sometimes you go back into those old tendencies even when you're evolving. It's a struggle to break old habits and to make new habits because you're a new person, but over time you'll get it. And I think it's fitting that he used the album name as Currents because evolving is a current. You're going the flow of where you're trying to get at, and there's going to be ups, there're going to be downs, and you're just flowing with it until you reach your destination. So I really respect his creativity. Even the album cover, it just is very abstract, abnormal, and I really respect it. Overall, these are some of my favorite albums. I'm going to still collect vinyls and more stuff like that, but overall, I'm glad that I was able to buy that stuff, but also able to really enjoy these albums because obviously some of these albums are pretty old, but when you re-listen to albums, you re-listen to songs, there you get more meaning and you start seeing little nuances that you didn't see. And I just love these artists because they express themselves, they're unique, they're creative, and they do stuff outside the box. And I hope you enjoy this episode. This is episode 2 of the Nerd by Choice. Um, Over the course of these weeks, I'm probably going to be talking more about the NBA Finals, the Euros that's coming up, uh, and cinema, because I haven't done a cinema episode yet. So we're going to start doing more cinema and talking about shows and movies that I watch. But I hope y'all enjoy, and I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Take 3.